UNLV falling to Boise State 29-24. The floor is yours.
Yeah. It was a good game. It really came down to the last 2 minutes of the first half where UNLV let 2 touchdowns in, one via a turnover, that led into points. So they played really well. And you know what? I had said that it came down to, and I think this puts a ding into his Heisman Trophy candidacy, is can you stop Ashton Jeanty? And you know what? Off of 33 carries, they only let him go for 128 yards and 1 touchdown. They did it. Like our UNLV's quarterback, Haj Malik Williams, 19 carries for 105 yards and 1 touchdown. He almost had the same amount of yards and a touchdown as Jeanty with less rushes. And he played well outside of that one interception. I mean, this was a really, really close game. It did come down to the end where UNLV just couldn't get them off the field to get a chance to go down and win the game. But you know what? It shows that when Jeanty actually goes up, I mean, again, UNLV was only the 20th best rushing defense in the league. If Jeanty goes into these playoffs and he tries to go up against, another team, most likely if Oregon stays 1, they could potentially, go against Oregon. Oregon only has the 48th best rushing defense in the league, as I said last week. So, things have probably shifted a little bit. But Jeanty trying to go against an actual good rushing defense, that's going to hurt him going forward. And I think that's going to hurt the team. But you know what? I'm still proud to be the Rebels. Like I was telling my buddy about it, that to actually care about the Rebel football, like I've always cared about Rebel football, but watching it and now actually having stake in the game to be like, oh, this matters. Not just like, oh, I want my team to win. Oh, if they lose, it's whatever. They always lose. But having a stake in the game, like that was actually fun. Like it's been fun to watch. So you know what? Good for the Broncos. They only moved up 2. Yeah, so we'll see. I think UNLV's, if they have any chance, not saying they do, I don't think they do, but if they had any chance to make the college football playoffs, you had to have, and we'll move on to one of the other games here. You had to have, which team was it? Was it Army or Navy that played Notre Dame? Navy, because Army and Navy were the 2 teams that are right there with Boise State and UNLV to make the playoffs, take that 12th spot, and Notre Dame absolutely hammered Navy. So that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see if you are a UNLV fan. You want to see that happen. And then so you also have Army does play Air Force. They're ranked 21 right now. But we'll see. They'll probably win that game, but they do end up playing. Army does play Notre Dame eventually. We looked it up. I don't remember when they actually play them, but they will play them. And if Army gets absolutely blown out by Notre Dame, even if they have 1 losses and UNLV was able to win out the rest of the season, beat Boise State in the Mountain Western Conference Finals, yeah, they would have 1 extra loss, but I think that could propel UNLV. So there's a slight chance for UNLV. Obviously, Boise State is your front runner to make that 12th spot. And we'll see how Army does the rest of the season. But I think Navy losing to Notre Dame that bad, they're pretty much officially out.
Yeah. Also the silver lining for the UNLV is they should win their remaining 4 games. So they're still going to finish the season 10-2, which is
they've never done that. So last year they were 9 and whatever it was for the regular season. So it's progress. Barry Odom's a great coach. The only sad thing is we're going to be losing. UNLV's going to be losing a lot of players going into next season. A lot of players are senior transfers or seniors that have been on the team for a while. So we'll have to see the recruiting power of Barry Odom, which I think is pretty dang good. So yeah, we'll see.
And you know what? Hats off to Boise State because they are a fun team to watch.
They are.
Jeanty, the way
just
he
not on
stands
just not on their field.
Oh yeah, we've agreed on that. Yeah, the way Jeanty stands in the backfield it's funny, it's terrifying, it's weird, it's kind of cool. Like it's like literally everything. Just the way he stands, like straight up back there, and he does legitimately look like Michael Myers. It's weird. And also, if he continues on this path he's having and does not win the Heisman category, then we should just change the Heisman, much like we should the NFL MVP award, to just go to the best quarterback. Like, if it's not going to be to the best player, we should just stop making it seem like it could, right?
Right.
Because we talked about it on last episode where it's like all the running backs before him who won the Heisman almost had like half the stats he currently has right now at this point in their seasons. So if he again continues on this path, like, and he doesn't win the Heisman, then it's again just the best quarterback on the best team wins, which is boring. Just make that a separate award.
Right.
But the other games I wanted to talk about, Casino, was we had high hopes for Missouri, who got completely blasted by Alabama 34-0. That game wasn't even close, never felt close. We were There was a slim chance, but the way Alabama looked, we still thought they had a chance. And then I was really high on Illinois against Oregon. I was like, I
Same.
smell an upset alert. And then again, they also got smoked. But the game we correctly predicted, uh, almost was, and a game I bet, and the number on it was insane. It was like, have you guys watched Vanderbilt in the past month they've been playing college football? The line on this game, they were giving Vanderbilt like 8 plus 18. So they were
Which is
giving them
insane.
18 points, and it was like, did you watch the Georgia game? Did you watch the Vanderbilt Alabama game? Vanderbilt loses by 3 to Texas, who is now ranked number 7. Did that Georgia game break Texas, Casino? Because they do not look the same.
Yeah, I would think so. I You're right. Ever since then, it's just like what happened to Alabama. Is as soon as they had a knock to their armor, like they started falling apart, man. It was like hitting that one Jenga piece and everything just starts to crumble. Wait
Yeah,
for a bit.
yeah.
But you know what, good on Vandy, man.
I
Seriously.
mean, that quarterback, Pavia, he is a damn good. I don't know if he'll be an NFL pro, but he is a damn good
You might
college
make a
quarterback.
practice squad.
We saw what happened with Anthony Richardson and Bryce Young. Anything's possible in the
Right.
NFL,
The one
Casino.
that I
But
did get right though was Texas A&M.
yeah, well, Texas A&M dark horse. I've been seeing this for a couple weeks now. Dark horse to potentially be the SEC champion, like potentially,
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm
I
all
don't know.
for it. I mean, Ohio State was also on upset alert. They barely beat Nebraska, which was a fun one. Washington State edges San Diego State. Colorado won. Whoop de doo. The SMU game was really good. That was SMU won by 28-27. Watched a lot of that one. And then again, as I said, I know Kansas was not good this year, but Kansas State was going to be fun because it's in state, and that one was really good too. 29-27.
Yeah. And then Texas A&M right now is atop of the SEC at the
Oh yeah,
moment.
I know. That's why I wanted to keep winning.
Yeah, but then also that's going to be crazy if they end up winning the SEC, and then you have Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, LSU, Alabama, Ole
Alabama's
Miss,
not getting in.
Vanderbilt. Yeah.
Alabama's not going to get in a large bid. They won't.
Well, they're right now they're 7th on the SEC rankings in terms of the SEC. So how
Yeah.
they're not
So
ranked, or they're still ranked, are they not? Yeah,
yeah,
they're
they are.
14th.
But
That's
but
ridiculous.
they're not going to make the college football playoffs. They will not make the college football playoffs because you'll have the winner of that, and you said seventh, right?
Yes.
So this is what would have to happen for them to get in is one of those seven win the SEC. That's not them, and then the other six at large bids would have to go to all SS. I can never say
SEC.
it. SCC teams. So
You
that's not
still
going to
didn't
happen.
say it.
I
It's
know.
SEC.
SEC. Blah blah blah. But Alabama's not going. They're not going. They are off the radar of the college football playoffs.
Fingers crossed. I hope you're right. But there is upcoming the big game next this coming Saturday is Ohio State Penn State, number 3 and number 4. So
Yeah, let's go Penn.
Penn State destroyed Wisconsin, and then what? Who is it? Ohio State, as you just said, barely squeaked out a victory. Also, I'll tell you what, Colorado Casino, they look good. They look good. I know we're annoyed by them most of the time, but they're a good football team.
No,
Like, you
no.
watch them and they're what? Let's see, look at their I mean, they're 6-2. They're 6-2 in the Big 12,
Yeah, they
just
lost to
behind.
Nebraska. They got blown out by Nebraska, though.
I know, but that was when everybody, including myself, thought Nebraska was good, and then they kind of fell off with the Mahomes clone. But I'll tell you what, the only team I really think they would have trouble with in the Big 12 is BYU. Because BYU, I watched most of that game they played against UCF. They're good. They're really
Yeah,
good.
they are.
They just soaked their way to victory. But Casino, let's anything else you want to talk about in college football, or can we move on to NFL?
We can move on.
uh let's do our NFL pick
Oh,
update,
that took like
Casino.
2 seconds, 2 to 3 seconds for it to register what you just said. That was great.
Our NFL